Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, All-American Rejects, headlining night 2 of Q101's Twisted Christmas. And boy, there's been a ticket drop for one of the nights. We'll talk about that in about 10 minutes at 8 o'clock on how you should be buying tickets for Q101's Twisted Christmas today. We'll give you that information in a second. First off, we want to talk about Am I the A-hole? One of our crew members checking in about something they did at a potluck, what they brought to a potluck. And this is that time of the year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, just random days in between there. Football.
Yeah. Boxing Day.
Boxing Day. Don't forget about Boxing Day. People say, come over and, bring something if you want. Everybody's bringing something. But what this girl brought caused tables to be turned over, plates to be broken, and people to riot on what she brought. Now, before we get there, just 10-second sidebar on a text we just got about potlucks. Julio checked in and said, "The wifey is a white girl. My whole crew is Mexican. She throws down on white people snacks like eclair cakes, ham and cheese roll-ups, deviled eggs, pigs in a blanket. It's the best."
Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Eclairs should be they should be more widely available.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
What is an eclair? I don't even know exactly what it is.
Well, it's like a French pastry, so it's not the same consistency as a donut. It's supposed to be a pastry.
Okay.
And then it's filled with like that eclair, like custard, and then has like the chocolate on top.
Yeah.
So it's like a way better version of a Long John. You know what I'm saying? But you know what really pissed me off? Is this one plate, I swear to God.
How do you have an angry eclair story?
Because just wait. Like you said, they're not readily available enough. And I found this one grocery store that will remain unnamed. And I was like, oh my God, they have eclairs here. This is awesome. And then I got them like 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
And I was looking at them. And I'm like, these are mother effing old hot dog buns.
What?
They were using hot dog buns. 1,000%. I think they were frying them up or something. It was a hot dog bun. The way the cut was on the top, they just covered it with icing.
But were they good? Well, I think you thought they were good, so you found out they were hot dog buns.
Yes, how dare you? How dare you give me an old hot dog bun and say it's eclair?
But if it's good, it's okay.
No. I was so mad. That's not a homemade eclair. There needs to be a warning on there. You can't charge it the same price.
It's kind of like in The Matrix, because Case has now seen The Matrix. When you take the pill that shows you everything and the one that will keep you in the dark, you should have stayed in the dark.
I was just looking at it.
I know, but the eclair, just don't question the eclair.
I didn't Google it. I just looked at it.
You look too carefully. Just eat it. Just eat it. All right, now that we're in the spirit of potlucks, let's read this from one of our crew members, which sounds like an interesting time here, from a 25-year-old female. She says, my sister is 25 years old, a female, and she is 28 years old, okay, female. And a group of her friends from high school meet once a month to catch up and have a potluck dinner together. Sounds great, actually. This month, they met at my sister's place, and she asked me if I wanted to join them. She told me I had to bring a homemade dish, since that's one of the purposes of these gatherings, to give them a reason to cook something and then take a break from fast food. I said, okay. I was supposed to make a roast chicken, but I honestly forgot to defrost it. So I ended up buying a rotisserie chicken on my way to my sister's house. I didn't pretend that I had made it. I was honest. None of her friends minded. It's not like I brought KFC, she says. Which, by the way, she should have brought KFC.
Oh, that would have been great. I would have loved a little bucket.
Yeah. My sister looked bothered, though. And when we were alone for a moment, she told me to have warned them when I realized I wouldn't be able to cook, and that it was rude of me to show up for the first time already, disrespecting the rules of their group or whatnot. I thought it was such an overreaction, but now I'm wondering if I was the a-hole. Now, maybe I exaggerate a little bit that when I said that people found out what she brought, they turned over tables and broke plates, but that's what I picture happening here. It escalated to this. She's not telling the whole story. That's how I see it happening.
You think she's not telling the whole story?
Yes, the outrage over her bringing a rotisserie chicken to an all-homemade potluck. Now, this brings back memories to me when I was invited to a potluck situation. And you know what I brought?
What?
Gino's East pizza.
Oh,
deep dish. I brought a nice Gino's East pizza and a nice deep dish for everybody. And you know what? Everybody loved it and loved me. Now,
loved me?
I did sense a scowl from the people that worked hard on some food to show off their cooking skills. But at the end of the day, people flocked to my pizza, and it was the first to go. My Geno's East sausage patty, pepperoni, cheeseburger pizza.
I think as long as you bring something, it's fine. I think it's rude when you say you're going to bring something and you show up without something, and then you sit down to eat everyone's food and they all brought something. That sucks. But as long as you bring something in the vicinity of what you're supposed to. Say you were given an entree and you come with a vegetable tray, not cool.
Right.
Not cool.
I'm surprised. I thought you would have been mad at this because you worked so hard on cooking that I thought you'd have been like, well, I did all this and you just went to the store and went cha-ching.
Listen, there's enough to be mad about in the world. Thank you for showing up with food. I don't care.
Well, you got mad at the eclairs a second ago.
Yeah, I did.
That you liked, by the way.
How dare you?
That you liked
Give
them.
me your old-ass hot dog bun and then charge me eclair because it's a French word. You think you could charge me more?
Honestly, it's almost the same thing.
No, it's not.
Because they brought you old hot dog buns with cream filling in the middle.
They made me pay for. This is like, whatever. Show up with your food and pay for it.
Yes, but you chose to buy it. No one forced you to buy the eclairs, the hot dog bun eclairs.
Eclairs. I got ripped off.
Case, does this ever happen to you? Like people say, hey, bring something for a homemade potluck, make something?
I've never been invited to a potluck.
Well, that's sad.
I'm sorry, it just hasn't happened. But I kind of think the sister, the one that's angry, there's validity to her argument. I can go get a rotisserie chicken from Jewel, and I have many times, anytime that I want. The spirit of the potluck is to make something. It's like a show and tell. You better show up with something homemade so that I can enjoy the different cuisines. I don't want to be I can get the Colonel anytime. I know where to get a rotisserie chicken. The potluck is I want to see what my friends bring to the table when it comes to the kitchen.
It sounds like she sucks at cooking, though. So when you,
Yeah, but sometimes don't you just want to feel better than other people?
Yeah, but you already would if they showed up with food that they'd buy because they're so bad at it. But at least it's edible. I would rather not. We did a Friendsgiving, but it was a work one, and some of us didn't get along, so it was a really bad Friendsgiving. Anyways,
sounds like a whole other problem.
I know.
Somebody brought eclairs. Kenzie was pissed.
This girl came with her version of mac and cheese. And she's like, it's the only thing I know how to make. And I said, I don't think you know how to make it because it was there was chunks of raw cheese in it.
No.
Like it wasn't all melted.
I was going to say, how do you screw up mac and cheese?
It was the nastiest thing I had ever tasted. We're talking hard noodles. You know, when the noodles crunch?
Yep.
Not all the cheese melted. I don't know what you did. What if it's the only thing you know how to make? You should have bought something. This is unedible.
Well, David said at 630.
We weren't friends. Together, we were some of the people didn't get along.
David said that when there's a potluck, I buy a nice new dish and go to McDonald's and get 2 chocolate chip cookies and then replate it. Replate the cookies.
That's cheating. I don't want the spirit of the potluck is that we all bring our own food.
But what if your food sucks, like the mac and cheese story?
Then do better.
Just work harder on
Amen.
it?
Work harder, grind harder.
I wanted to throw it at her face. How dare she sit down with what I made when that's what she brought?
See, now you said it didn't bother you, but boy, everything has bothered you since then.
Her ass food, I wish she would have brought a bucket of KFC. I wouldn't have been bothered. I'd be like, thank you. Thank you for knowing your limitations and showing up with green mill pasta instead of your pasta.
John said, it sounds like the sister was the a-hole. She was honest by saying she did not make it and came in with a rotisserie.
Yeah.
So there you go. Also, Zach checked in and said, what is a hot dog if not a meat eclair?
Wow.
God, wow.
I'm not doing this. I will not participate.
Well, you brought it up. You brought
I
up
will
the...
not condone these actions.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Some amazing words about Q101's Twisted Christmas. Why you need to buy tickets right now. We'll get that in a second. First off, we're trying to settle who the a-hole is here between 2 sisters. One had a potluck where everybody was told to bring homemade food. The other sister brought a rotisserie chicken, admittedly saying, I'm not a good cook. Now, who's the a-hole here? Because the sister got mad who was hosting the party because it wasn't a homemade dish. Kenzie on the text line, what do you got?
So there's a lot of potluck passion going on right now. 630 texted in, Anna from Wheaton. I hate when people bring chocolate chip cookies. Talk about lack of motivation and the most common event day food with a bunch of cursing faces.
Jeez.
Live it. And she's talking about non-homemade because she was saying like platters from stores and stuff like that.
Yeah, but Costco cookies, like those are so good.
The only exception I give to this rule, because I agree, like don't be like, if somebody asks you to bring a dessert, don't bring a bunch of cookies. It's like, we're all adults. Except when you're having like a family Christmas and there's tons of little kids and they're picky.
So more cookies the better?
So then it's like, okay, good, because all the little kids are going to grab a cookie. That's the only exception, but to an adult event, non-homemade platter of cookies, come on. Come on.
First off, how dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you assume that I'm not picky about cookies?
Well, let's go through the options, because if it's not going to be chocolate chip, I'm a grown man. I'm not eating a snickerdoodle. I don't want raisins in my cookie. You run out of options pretty quick if you're not going chocolate chip.
White chocolate macadamia nut.
Oh, well, I'm not a Rockefeller.
Gang,
Relax.
gang.
I don't have that sort of budget.
Hey.
Have you ever had a white macadamia nut cookie?
No, I
They're
can't even
good.
fathom it.
Why?
It's in a different tax bracket than I'm in.
Oh,
Wait.
stop. They have them at Subway.
They do, actually.
Yeah, they do. I know.
They do.
So can it?
Yeah. Also, can we all agree that oatmeal raisin's number 2 after chocolate chip?
Ew, no.
What?
You like oatmeal raisin?
Yes.
Get out.
No, I'm not leaving.
No, you have to go home.
No, well, maybe I will.
That's disgusting.
What?
How dare you?
What's number 2?
The number 2 cookie, almost anything else. I like
Whoa.
to make a dark chocolate cayenne pepper cookie.
Cayenne pepper?
It's so good. Like a spicy dark chocolate cookie is my number 1 holiday cookie.
You get out.
Raisins. How old are you?
A good oatmeal raisin cookie. It's so
Gross.
good.
Do you want me to blend up your meat with dinner too? Blech.
What
Old
does that
cookie.
mean?
It's like an old person cookie.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oatmeal raisin is
straw
not an
for your
old
dinner?
person. How dare you ageist
you?
oatmeal raisin
How dare
cookies?
you run over to the platter with your tennis balls over in your case. Disgusting.
Oh, thank God they got oatmeal raisin.
Gross.
Oatmeal raisin are not old people
All
cookies.
dinner at 3 for you.
That's
Ew.
horrendous
How
that you
dare
said
you?
that. How dare you? Let's see here. A first-time texter joined in and said, what if their house is dirty? You're better off with store-bought food. What a thought. What a thought to think of.
I don't like eating in people's
How dirty
houses.
could somebody's house be?
Oh, God. Case.
How dirty is your house?
I have a clean house.
I don't
Who do you
I'd
think
want-
you are?
I don't mean this in a mean way. I don't think I'd want food from Case's house.
How is that not mean? That is the meanest thing I've ever heard. What's the not mean way of that?
I said I don't want this to sound mean, so I can say whatever I want
That is
after that.
the most offensive thing that's
a
ever been said to me.
It's like saying no offense. I'm allowed to say whatever I want after. It's a get out of jail free card.
Whenever you say, I'm not crazy, but then the next thing's crazy.
Yeah,
like, whenever you say, preface it with
I
that.
don't want it to be mean.
But
I
it
don't wanna
is.
do that.
It is mean.
Hey,
What do you think is wrong with my kitchen?
I just don't think that you're like a very thorough cleaner. And I bet you haven't changed your sponge, like, you know, when you wipe food off the dishes. I feel like you'd have your sponge for a long time. And I
Yeah.
feel like you'd be like, I don't know how to change my sponge.
Okay, but I have a dishwasher, so it doesn't matter what the sponge does. It's really about the dishwasher.
See, because you have an old sponge, you said that. You're already defending your raggedy sponge that's been through everything.
Listen, most people think that the sister who hosted the party is the a-hole here because how she came at her sister like that for not bringing something homemade. But still a lot of great texts coming in. Laurel checked in. WTF, Brian, that is sacrilege. Who the F likes oatmeal raisin cookies? Put respect on peanut butter chocolate chip cookies.
Amy said oatmeal raisin cookies are a crime against humanity.
What is wrong with these? I don't even know if I know our audience. I don't even know if I know you.
Mike said fruit doesn't belong in dessert.
I don't even know you people. This is sad. This is a sad thing. You know what's not sad, though? How about this for a tie-in? Is tickets for night 4 of Q101's Twisted Christmas. This is glorious because Halloween, we had a special sale.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful.
$40 all-in tickets for night 4 of Q101's Twisted Christmas with Bush, Bishop Briggs, and Palais Royale on December 13th. It was supposed to end Halloween, but you know what? We're in the spirit of giving. We're in a good spirit right now. So it's $40 all-in ticket for that. The passcode is Friday40. Buy your ticket today. It's not going to last forever. It might have even been a mistake, to be honest. Maybe management just made a mistake on this. You know?
Right.
So,
I think it was supposed to be edited, but it's Monday, like over the weekend. Who's going to take that down? No, thank
yeah.
you.
And now that it's Monday, they're like, well, I'll worry about stuff Wednesday.
Well, by the time they see the email about it, it's going to be like 3 o'clock today. They're like, oh, crap.
Christina from Mundelein just bought tickets. Christina checked in from Mundelein. I have my Bush tickets for the $40 all-in ticket. Get them right now. That is an incredible deal for that show. When you think about the amount of hits you're going to hear from Bush, it's like a playlist you made on Bush. And it's the party night, too, by the way. It's Friday when we don't have to worry about getting up next day. Hopefully you don't. So get your tickets, Q101.com. Friday 40 is the password. $40 all-in ticket for Bush Friday night. Q101's Twisted Christmas. Get them.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Certainly opened up a firestorm here with reading a message from a crew member asking if she is the a-hole or her sister is. And here was the post that was sent to us. My sister and a group of her friends from high school meet once a month to catch up and have a potluck dinner together. Right off the bat, that sounds amazing. This month, they met at my sister's place, and she asked me if I wanted to join them. So she told me I had to bring a homemade dish, since that's one of the purposes of these gatherings, to give them a reason to cook something and take a break from fast food. And I said, okay. I was supposed to make a roast chicken, but I honestly forgot to defrost it, so I ended up buying a rotisserie chicken on my way to my sister's house. I didn't pretend I had made it. I was honest. None of her friends minded. It's not like I bought KFC. Why is she dissing KFC there, by the way? It's delicious.
Settle down, Brian.
If you had a bucket here, I wouldn't even touch that bucket, I bet.
I would love it.
See?
I would love that bucket.
My sister looked bothered, though. And when we were alone for a moment, she told me to have warned them when I realized I wouldn't be able to cook. So she wanted like a message saying, I'm not going to be able to cook. Okay, we'll cover for you. Then you're out. Somebody else is in. Taking somebody off the bench that could cook and come to the potluck. You can't come anymore.
Bro, a roast chicken for a beginner at the potluck is ballsy, though.
Is that hard?
I would have started it with like a dip. I don't think I would have put a lot of pressure. I mean, entree off the bat. Like, come on.
So she says that her sister told her it was rude to show up for the first time, already disrespecting the rules of their group or whatnot.
Oof.
Oh, she sounds like a peach.
Sounds like a fun potluck.
I thought that was such an overreaction, but now I'm wondering if I was the a-hole. No, and most people, our listeners, I 90% say, no, you're not the a-hole for what you did. Your sister's being the a-hole. And also, it does not sound like a fun group. I thought it'd be fun to get together with high school people and have food, but I think with them, they're probably talking about the glory days of when she, hit the last bucket and they won the title.
Wow, really judgmental all of a sudden.
First off, you do that all the time on the show, Brian.
No, I never hit a last second shot to win a title. I never did
It
that.
got swatted away.
But you made it very clear that it's all your coach's fault.
Absolutely, it's his
See?
fault. Didn't take advantage of my height and talent.
Like, I shouldn't know that.
I got more to tell you.
I know.
So a lot of people checking in on this. I love some of our first-time texters we're getting on this. A guy named Elvis from Hammond checked in.
Love it.
He's not even talking about this. He's on the oatmeal raisin conversation of that being the second best cookie, in my opinion, after chocolate chip. He said, might as well have pineapples on cookies than raisins. Thank you, Elvis from Hammond. I don't even know what that means.
I have two texts. Tom said, oatmeal raisin is vile. And then Laura texted in and said, Brian's sacrilege.
Okay, but you're missing all of the positive oatmeal raisin cookies like Pete the Log Driver. Homemade oatmeal raisin cookies made with molasses are the bomb. There's a lot of oatmeal raisin defenders out here. I'm not saying they're better than chocolate chip.
Listen.
Just saying they're number two.
And I would like to say oatmeal's not the problem in that cookie. I like a good oatmeal with icing cookie. I like a good oatmeal chocolate chip. Oatmeal's not the issue in the relationship with the oatmeal.
What's wrong with
cookies.
raisins?
Who the hell wants to eat a bunch of raisins?
Someone trying to make some changes in their life?
Oh, yeah, right. You're a beacon of health because you like oatmeal raisin cookies.
I just use oatmeal cookies as the vehicle for my health.
To be honest, usually the recipe is more unhealthy than other cookies.
What do you mean?
Like they're more unhealthy.
The raisin part?
Raisins are very high in calorie.
They are?
Yes, and you have to use 10 times more sugar. And like you said, they're usually like a molasses or something. And they're usually more unhealthy.
So what? They're good.
Okay, well, your argument was you were trying to make change in your
Well,
life.
raisins should be better. Listen, is it better that I don't eat a raisin? I eat I don't know.
A chocolate chip?
Yeah, chocolate chip.
Are you talking about just one raisin with one chocolate chip? Is that the question?
Mike effing love a good oatmeal cookie. A lot of positive oatmeal raisin, and no one ageising them like Kenzie tried to do, saying they're old man cookies.
That is an old man cookie.
No, it's not. They're great. Okay, so you got anything on the text line?
Stephanie from Portage checked in. I think this puts a bow on this conversation nicely. She said, the host is off her rocker and needs a Xanax. Eat the damn chicken and shut it, lady.
Wow. I had no idea this conversation was going to get like this.
This is how people get with potlucks. It's serious business. I'd
It
love
is.
to be invited to one day.
It was like a wrestling match because you guys threw a plate at her face.
Kenzie, why don't you invite Case to a potluck at your house?
What do you want me to make, Kenzie?
Ooh. I don't want you to make anything.
What do you think he could make?
So mean.
I don't want him to make anything.
But what do you think he could make?
He Googled how to boil water like 3 weeks ago. I don't want to bring anything to my house.
And guess what? I learned how to do it. Now I can do it.
Oh, great. Bring boiled noodles over. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
Done.
YouTube University is amazing. You can really do anything if you just can follow a video.
See, like, Case is the prime example of you just pick something up on your way.
No, I want Case to bring something that you'll eat.
Yeah, Kenzie, I can boil noodles. It turns out you go to the grocery store, they have all these pasta sauces in cans. I can just dump that on the noodles. We're good. That's a whole meal
I
right
don't
there.
want that at my house.
Why? That's dinner.
Ugh.
Bone apple teat.
Ew.
Wait, what'd you say?
Bone apple teat? No. Bone apple teat. No, absolutely not. I don't want you. Actually, I don't even want you at my house. I don't want you there.
It's Brian
You
and
can
Kenzie
ruin the vibe.
on Q101. Case, why don't you post it on Facebook? I want to see more vile comments come through there.
Wait, what's the question?
Just post the "Am I the a-hole?"
Oh, okay, all
What
right.
was
I didn't
written
know
there?
No, I argue that the post should be, are oatmeal raisin cookies good?
Well, that can be a sub post inside the comments.
That's my vote.
Just put that in the comments, but we'll put that up and let Facebook decide who's the a-hole here. Because obviously we can't agree.
No, it's much like this nation. We're torn apart.
Yeah, the day before Election Day, boy, this is really the conversation.
This is the real things that we need to get into.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So this is the story that just it really won't go away. So we're talking about a post with two sisters went to a potluck, and the girl brought a rotisserie chicken from the grocery store, and the other sister got mad because it was supposed to be all a home cooked meal potluck. And people keep checking in on this. It got to a conversation about the cookie rankings. I guess we need a Mount Rushmore of cookies soon, a conversation there. So I said after chocolate chip, it's obviously oatmeal raisin, and it caused a firestorm with really a lot of people agreeing with me and a lot of people coming against me. Herm pretty much says it the best here. Herm checked in from 224. I have a vote for piece of garbage madness, oatmeal raisin cookies. Put it on the board. It might be like, for example, if you don't know what that is, if you're new to the show, every year with the basketball tournament, we do piece of garbage madness in March, where people and things that are the biggest piece of garbage in the last year, you guys vote and decide which one's the worst. Last year, Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard won the whole thing.
In a landslide.
Yes, but she took out some pretty big dogs. It was very fun to go through the bracket. It exists at Q101.com and on our socials. So Herm is asking for oatmeal raisin cookies to be in there. Maybe a 16 seed, if you will. I don't know. I think they're amazing. I think they should be off, but you guys decide what goes in.
It'll be funny when that gets on the bracket and there are people that don't know the now lore of the oatmeal raisin cookie, because last year we had the band Better Than Ezra on Piece of Garbage Madness because they no-showed us after asking to be on our show. And we posted it on Facebook. People were all like, wait, what did Better Than Ezra do? Why are they on this? Well, it's, we have our reasons.
We have our reasons. We don't have to explain everything.
Right. So now we've decided to really put a close on this, because we see all your texts and all your conversations with us, but we're going to have a potluck here on Friday. So on Friday, myself, Kenzie, and Case will each make a dish, and then we'll eat it and honestly rate it on the air on how good it is.
Do you guys have any requests for what you want me to make?
I think it's better if it's a surprise. Don't you think?
No requests? Do you guys have any weird food things, though? Like, you'd be like, I can't eat this because, especially Case.
What does that mean?
It's like, there's flavor in this. I can't have it.
There's flavor. Now, just to put a context to that, Case likes plain chicken sandwiches.
Oh, what does that mean?
I'm trying to just say that you do like things plain. You don't like
Well, I'm not a complicated guy.
You don't like spicy because we had those potbelly sandwiches in it and you almost had a heart attack. And
those did just about kill me.
They were so good.
I was alone in my apartment thinking I was going to die because of the heat on a potbelly sandwich. That was a tough afternoon.
They were so good.
They were good. They were just. I'm not much of a heat seeker. Okay, I'm of Welsh descent. I grew up in Indiana.
Welsh.
These aren't people that do well with spice.
Is there a whiter sounding thing to say that I'm Welsh?
All right, so we're going to do a potluck Friday here on the show, and we're each going to make something and surprise the others with it, and then we'll see who wins the potluck, I guess.
We might have to bring in some guest judges.
Like who? I'm not bringing that much food.
I don't know. I feel like Dougie Styles would appreciate my cooking.
Yeah, just somebody can come in and have a taste. That would help to have an outside, to be honest. That would help to have outsiders.
Because I'm not going to vote against my own interest. I'm voting for myself if I have the option.
No, we can't do that. You have to vote for one that's not yours. That's how you make it possible.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something I do.
That's what they used to do on 5 Weddings or whatever the show is called. 4 Weddings.
What's 5 weddings?
That's when you would you'd have 4 people and they'd each attend a wedding, but you couldn't score your own wedding if somebody wins like a honeymoon. That's how you avoid that.
I missed that show.
Yeah. It was really mean. Everyone was really mean about everyone's wedding.
Now people are already calling BS on this contest that Brian needs proof that Megan doesn't make it for him.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
guys, you cannot, I don't know, I'm looking at both of you. You cannot get help.
You can't look at both of us at the same time.
Because I can't, because you're in a row in front of me.
It's impossible.
You are not allowed to have help. Seriously.
Look, I'm the grill master. You get me on my Weber. The problem is I can't
Yeah, but
bring.
you're going to show up with a casserole and be like, what the hell is this?
I can't grill out in here. I think that's against the law. Is it against the law?
I don't care. Bring a George Foreman. F it up.
No, my Webers are perfect. I have the luminous
we'll
electric.
Grill it and we'll just heat it up when it gets here.
That won't die. I think that'll be.
Well, everyone's is going to have to be heated up when we bring it here.
Could be a cold dish.
You could bring, I guess, a pasta salad also.
And
You're not going to win.
I'm going to bring an Italian sub.
Case makes a turkey sandwich. I'll be pissed.
Hey, there's mayo there in case you want to spice it up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I like this idea, and I'm looking forward to it. To just I'm actually looking forward to making something I've never made before, maybe, too.
Oh, that's risky.
Well, listen.
Look, I know you're my competitor, but Brian, do what Green Day does when they come to town, okay?
Play the hits.
The hits. Play the hits, my friend.
All right, so.
I don't know if he has a hit, though, so he can just probably do it.
Well, if we were making stuff on a cast iron or the grill, I would win hands down in 2 seconds.
Bring in one of those little grilly, those little stovetop things and a cast iron.
I just feel like it won't keep. Because
if you did it here?
Because I want you to have my meat fresh off the grill.
I don't want your meat. I don't like when you say it like that.
You want this meat.
Never mind, bring a casserole. I don't want to say that.
All right, Friday, the Brian and Kenzie potluck will happen, and then we'll really settle this. And I'm bringing oatmeal raisin cookies as dessert. I'm going to make some oatmeal raisin cookies.
No, because Megan's going to make those, and that'll be cheating.
I promise I won't cheat. Case, promise you won't cheat.
Honor system. My girlfriend's actually out of town this week, so this couldn't have worked out better.
Kenzie, promise that your baby won't make your food.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.